What's good? We are back with another 2K25 video, and today I'm bringing you my Chet Holmgren build. This build's a 7-footer that ends up with a 99 block, super high shooting, good rebounding stats, and then 80s or 90s all across the board in the finishing. This build's extremely dominant, especially with the cap breakers that you unlock at starter 3, but even before that is going to take over games. I've been having a ton of fun on the 7-footer build. We're still sticking to daily uploads all the way through September, so make sure you drop a like, drop a sub, turn the notifications on so you're not missing any of these uploads. And without further ado, let's get into this Chet build. Alright, so getting into the build tester here, I love that 2K added this honestly this year. It's super helpful being able to test animations and jump shots before you actually make your build. It's against AI, so take the gameplay with a grain of salt, but as you can see, we're finishing over littler guys every time. The finishing on this build is all super high in every category, so we should be laying that up over little guys every single time. And we are also shooting over guys like Kristaps. I have a default jump shot on in this gameplay, and I know the difficulty is not super hard, but it really shows you the potential this build has, and we are shooting that super consistently. I don't know if I missed a shot this whole time. We're turning around hitting post hop shots over Kristaps. This build's honestly a lot of fun, and it's on defense and can still get it done on offense. Let's get into how to make this thing. Alright, so getting into the builder here, we are going to go position center, height 7 foot, weight 215 pounds with a 7'5" wingspan. If anybody's worried about the wingspan, let me tell you right now, I have a 7-foot center. That other center also has a 7'5" wingspan, and I grab every single rebound. I'm honestly starting to be convinced that the wingspan does not affect rebounds this year, and it only makes your shooting better if you go a little bit lower. I don't know if that's 100% true or not, but from the gameplay I've played, 7'5" wingspan is much better than that max wingspan, strictly because it lets you shoot way better and still get an insane amount of rebounds. Getting into finishing attributes here, as you can see, super high all across the board. We're going to go with an 84 close shot, 79 driving layup, 84 driving dunk, 91 standing dunk, and a 75 post control. The 84 close shot is going to get you badges like Silver Paint Prodigy, Silver Float Game, and Silver Hook Specialist. And badges aside, it's also going to let you make a lot of standing layups, like just standing under the basket on the block or within a few feet of the hoop. Anything like that, it's going to make it go in at a much higher rate. I've liked close shot a lot this year. 79 driving layup, with the strength we have later on, we end up getting bronze physical finisher, and then we also get gold aerial wizard, and this helps with that Silver Float Game as well. I use real player percentage timing on my layups, so the higher this is, the more I'm going to make. And with a 79, I've seen quite a few of them going in, especially over smaller defenders. It goes in at a super high rate. Then the 84 driving dunk is going to get us bronze posterizer. This is one area, if you're more concerned with dunking, you could use your cap breakers here to get that to an 87 or an 89, because that would unlock the contact dunk animations. But at 84, you're still getting Anthony Edwards dunk style and LeBron. I'm not sure if they're height capped, actually, I'll have to check that. But if they aren't height capped, those are two really good dunk packages you can get at like an 83, 84 rating. But honestly, on a build like this, I'm not as concerned with driving dunk. I'm more concerned with standing dunk, which we get at 91, and it's going to give us gold rise up. Standing dunk on all of my builds has been one of my favorite attributes this year. You get a ton of them if you upgrade it high. And some of the animations, especially on tall builds like this, are crazy. You're just dunking all over people. So if you want those big man contact dunks and all the good animations, make sure you're keeping this at 90 or 91. And then we're going to go with a 75 post control, which is going to give us silver post phenom, bronze post powerhouse, bronze post up poet, bronze unpluckable, which is really big because we don't want to get ripped on this build. That unpluckable might be an area where I use my max +1 to make it silver, just because I'm going to be dribbling a little bit on this build and I want to get ripped as few times as possible, especially with how overpowered locks have been this year. Overall, some very good finishing stats across the board. Onto the shooting, I've said it a ton this year. I think that 85 rating is the threshold for a lot of builds. It's where you get a lot of bases and also hit badge attribute requirements. I've been trying to hit at least 85 on all my builds, and we're also going to get silver Deadeye, silver post fade phenom, and silver set shot specialist from this rating. Not to mention a ton of different jump shot bases. I'd say about 90% of the jump shots you want to use on this build, you are able to, which is also going to help with those shooting badge requirements and just help you space the floor even better. Having that 79, I have it on 79 on a few of my builds, and I shoot very consistently. I'd say if I didn't take dumb shots when I was up a lot, I'd be shooting about 55% from 3, which is very good this year compared to a lot of other people. But honestly, once you figure out shooting, it's really not all that hard. And then we just ended up leaving it at a 60 free throw. I know it's not crazy. I will be playing some rec on this build, but if you time it right and put a good free throw on, 60 is enough to green pretty consistently. I wouldn't say every time, but you can still green pretty consistently. And then onto the playmaking. This isn't your typical grab a rebound, throw it all the way down type of center, but we are going to get a 71 pass accuracy, which in the half court or even 3/4 court is very fast passes. It's also going to get us bronze break starter if you did want to throw it all the way down the court, and silver dimer so your teammates are hitting more shots. And then the 69 ball handle and 65 speed with ball. You are going to be moving a little bit on this build. I wanted it to be able to dribble a little bit, and these animation requirements are at about 65. That's when you start unlocking some stuff like Joel Embiid or Giannis. I'm using normal or Joel Embiid for almost all my animations. These aren't going to help all that much with badge unlocks. But just having these ratings upgraded like this will help you move a little bit and not just be a cone on offense every time you catch the ball. I can't stand being on a build and not being able to move at all with the ball. So on a tall build like this especially, I wanted to upgrade that a little bit, get some animations, get unpluckable, and be able to cook up a little bit if I start figuring out my dribble moves on these taller builds. I will say the go-to shots on these taller builds are very glitchy. They can throw you places really fast and give you some insane speed boosts. It's one of the most consistent ways I've found to speed boost on these huge builds. So if you guys are struggling, I would check that out. And then onto the defense, where this build really shines. We're going to get an 84 interior, 62 perimeter, 60 steal, 94 block, and then going to go with that defensive rebound at 88. So in the intro, I had said you get a 99 block on this build. This is where I'm going to use my cap breakers once I get them. I will make that 94 and 99. And that paired with the 84 interior defense, nobody's going to be scoring on us in the paint, especially because that 84 interior gets us gold paint patroller, which is huge this year. It's kind of like Intimidator from 2K20, if you guys remember that. If you're near the player and you have this on a high rating, you're going to get stops, even if you're not contesting them great. It's also going to get us bronze post lockdown, which on a build this tall, we're going to be able to get stops on post scorers or pretty much any build. I wanted to hit that 62 perimeter defense threshold just to be able to get bronze immovable enforcer. I've said it in every video. My favorite defensive badge this year. Really helps you bump guards, especially if you get switched onto them in the pick and roll. 60 steal with that bronze interceptor. Bronze interceptor this year is one of the best badges to get on a low rating. Just going to help you snag a bunch of passing lane steals. And it's super cheap, so you might as well get it on your center build. And as I said, this 94 block, it's going to get us paint patroller on gold pogo stick, and gold high flying denier. But those badges will go up when we put the block to 99 with the cap breakers. You're basically going to have all Hall of Fame defense interior badges, which is very good this year if you haven't tried it yet. And then we're going to go ahead and round it out with an 88 defensive rebound, which will get us silver rebound chaser and silver box out beast. You don't get gold rebound chaser on this build, but I will probably be using my max +1 to be able to get that to gold, just so we're snagging a few more boards, even though we were already grabbing a lot with an 88. And then onto the physicals, we went with a 76 speed, 68 agility, 73 strength, and an 80 vertical. Speed and agility kind of speak for themselves. I want to be as fast as I can off ball. And while playing defense, that agility is going to help us slide our feet a little bit on a big defensive build like this. 73 strength, I don't want to get completely thrown around. We had to upgrade the strength a little bit, and it's going to help with a lot of our badges. But we know Chet is very skinny, so I wanted to keep it pretty realistic. We are also going to get an 80 vertical. It's going to help with all of our contact dunk animations. It's also going to help with our rebound. I'm very big on vertical this year. I have a high vertical on my other build. It's got me jumping over people very consistently. So it's going to make that 88 rebound feel a lot higher. I don't know. I'm a big advocate for vertical this year, so I would upgrade it as high as you possibly can. I've been putting it on all my builds. I think it just helps in so many different categories, but feel free to tweak this any way you want to. I see a lot of people in my comments talking about tweaking builds this way or that way, and I say it a lot. Use this build as a template, change it how you want. This is just the way I made it for me and my playstyle. And then for the build naming comparisons, we are going to get the comparison of Chet Holmgren and Kristaps Porzingis, which is really what I was looking for. A tall shooting big with good block, good interior. We get the name two-way, three-level scoring threat. I'm absolutely loving this build. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Drop a like, drop a sub on your way out. Appreciate you watching all the way through, and I will catch you in the next one.